You got the thing ready?
I sure hope I got the thing ready. It's too late now.
My thing's
Good.
always ready.
No, that's not what we're talking
You you
about.
you asked. You asked.
I did. That's on me.
Well,
Oh, okay, right. I have to do the
You
talky
you
talky
always
bit,
do
don't I?
you always do the talking bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, right. I'm focused.
Oh, look, by this stage, everyone knows who we are and why we're here. Let's move on.
No, yes, that's true.
I'm
Hello,
me.
welcome. You are you. Yes, we are. We're not helpful. A podcast about books, recommendations, our thoughts and opinions, I suppose.
Why not?
I'm Eloise. Joining me as always is Brayton and Julian. It's been a funny, weird week.
It's a funny, weird world at the moment.
Uh, s- just all of those weeks piled on top of each other. But that
Funny,
we're not here
funny.
to talk about that.
I'm laughing every day.
That's all you can do. Otherwise, anyway, no, let's move on from the introduction. All right.
Okay, step one. We'll tick that off the list.
Okay, good. That is done. Right.
We're
What's the
extra not
next
helpful
part?
tonight.
Really not. It's very hot.
It's yeah.
I don't know what I'm
It's too
doing
hot
anymore.
today.
It's too hot.
I hope no one's
Dear.
done some illegal tax things.
No, and not told
Not
anyone
through
about
my secret illegal account, anyway.
their secret illegal accounts. Do we want to talk about anything that we have been reading this week?
I'm reading the same as last week. It's a like 650-page book. I'm getting through it.
Excellent. Julian, have you moved on to anything new since the last time?
Moved on, not exactly. I no longer had brain capacity to read anything too deep, so I gave up on The Black Dahlia, and I'm currently rereading Zigzag Street
Oh, okay.
because it
Zigzag
takes literally
Street.
no brains to comprehend.
I was
And I
Oh,
would
understand the character's trashing. I understand where he's coming from. I've been there a couple of times.
I never would have expected you to be reading Zigzag Street.
Really? I think I
Yeah.
read it first after I was dumped by an ex, and so considering that's exactly where the main character's at in his life, I kind of went, yeah, I get what you're going through here. So,
no.
mm,
But you're not going through a breakup right now, I hope.
no, no, I'm not. No, but it's good to laugh at someone's life that's crappier than mine. So,
Oh, and I think we all need that
good
right now
times.
at the moment. Just pointed laugh. Ha ha, you stupid character. You're so bad at everything. Ah. Is there a
Yeah.
positive end to Zigzag Street? I've not read it
There is.
actually.
There is a positive end. He meets someone by funny story, I suppose. He's running to get someone's shoe repaired and he slips and the shoe flies out of his hand and smacks a woman in the face. And he takes
Oh
care of
wow.
her.
That's an
Yes.
amazing meet and greet.
And from
There's
there
an
a relationship begins to blossom.
there's another book about someone injured and someone takes them into their house and looks after them.
With
He
no
does
terrible
it's
repercussions whatsoever.
No.
he doesn't take her into his house. He takes her to the doctor
Okay, you
and then
didn't
meets her to
Oh,
clarify.
buy
good.
her a new pair of
To other
glasses. Yeah.
people. There are
It's like
He takes her to
witnesses.
professionals, yes.
you said that, my mind immediately went to misery.
Uh, Another good book, but a little bit deeper than Zigzag Street.
Yeah,
Mm.
probably not the type of one that you want to be reading at the moment. I have almost finished The Cat Who Saves Books, and it is every bit of the anime that I thought it was.
Has the cat saved a
Like
book yet?
they have saved many books so far. It has
Why
been
were the
a
books in
com
trouble? Are these sentient
oh
books?
no,
Yes.
they're being kept captive by particular people who claim to love books but are doing terrible things to them.
They owe
So
money to the book mafia.
But the
they
books,
don't owe money to the
if the
book
books
mafia.
aren't sentient, then does it? Are we talking more like the cat's concerned about property damage?
I suppose it boils down to that, but slightly less whimsical.
Yeah, it doesn't have the magic when you describe the plot like that, does it?
It's a
No,
very
it
civically
really
minded
doesn't.
cat. I don't get it.
Yes.
I don't understand. That doesn't seem like a thing a cat would do. to
Uh,
care
I
about anything.
I'll do a full review of it, I think, once I've actually finished it. But to sort of give a bit of a a layout of what the story is. There's this magical cat that can talk that finds a young boy, like a teenager, who is the sole survivor of his family after his grandfather passes away, and his grandfather leaves him a secondhand bookstore. And this kid, his name's Rintaro, he loves books. And the cat says, "Oh, there are these books hidden in these labyrinths, and we have to go through these mystical labyrinths to save the books." That's all I'll sort of say for now. That's like boiled down like a um very small summary to that particular book. But in any case, it like I'm just picturing it as an anime movie the entire time, and it fits so well. And I did
I,
mention that last time.
I feel like this author doesn't know any cats in real life because cats don't save anything except maybe their food bowl.
Which
The
is
cat is,
empty,
yep,
apparently.
Always,
yes. Even though
even
there's
when it's full.
definitely
There,
stuff in the middle, but they've just like made a bit of a well in the
yeah,
middle of their dry food.
there's a
Therefore, it's
vet.
There's
empty.
actually a real reason for that.
Yeah, I know.
mm,
It's so dumb.
There's a vet
Yes, no, this
surgery I drive.
particular cat, I was about to say, this
Yep.
particular cat doesn't knock any of the books down off
So
shelves.
it's not
So
a real cat then.
not a real cat. He's a
No.
mystical, magical cat.
Clearly, clearly not an earth cat.
No.
I was going to say there's a vet surgery I drive past on the way to work that has like a little billboard out the front, and they always put up horrible jokes or puns. But the one they've got at the moment is very apt because it says, "I'm sorry, said no cat ever."
That
No.
is true.
Mm.
Cats don't say sorry. They present themselves to you as if to go, "Oh, look at me, I'm so lovely. Come and cuddle me and touch me and stroke me." And the second you put your hand down, they bite you. Ha
It's
ha!
a
You
trap.
fell into my trap. Ha ha!
Well,
Caught in
apparently
my trap now.
cats don't see us as another thing. They just see us as big cats.
Bigger, stupider cats.
Yeah, well, I read something once that dogs understand that you're not a dog, but like you're part of the pack or whatever, like that. But cats see you as another cat.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, I
Mm.
don't know how accurate that is or how they tested that, but it was interesting.
I think it's just people with too much time on their hands doing things because they're bored, coming up
That
with
sounds
reasons
like a
why
cat.
Yeah,
maybe they are onto something.
Mm.
so that sounds like anyone in the field of research. It's like, oh God,
Yes.
what can we research? Ooh, does this flower taste good? I'm going to apply for a grant to find out.
I
I
wish I
need
knew how
fifty
to write
thousand
grants.
dollars. I
I'll
learned how to
apply
do
for a
grants
grant.
in university, and it wasn't helpful.
What? Who taught you how to do grants? We did the same
I
degree.
No, I did like a minor in what was termed community cultural development, which was like a whole bunch
Ah.
of different classes that was sort of came under like cultural development. And yeah, it was all about like there was this thing to write a grant and how to do stuff that I don't remember. Sorry.
Well,
That's
look,
not very an interesting
if any of our
story.
listeners know how to write grants for research, I have a bunch of different things I'd like to research. I won't go into detail because they may be against the law. So if you know how to write a grant proposal, please let me know, and I will live off that money for a few years.
You do have to
And
produce
do the
research at
research?
the end.
You have to write a report, you know.
Yep.
Oh, look, I've heard this fantastic thing. It's called ChatGPT. Just put some info into it,
I will just
and
write at the
Bob's your
very
uncle.
end, none of my theories panned out, and that will be my report.
The best
I was
research,
proven incorrect in every way.
the best research paper I ever saw. Not that I look at research papers much. It was more of a meme thing. Was someone was I can't remember the exact title, but he was investigating ways to combat writer's block, and it was just the
I
title,
know where
and
you're
the
going
rest
with
of it
this.
was blank, and that was accepted and published.
Oh, okay. That's not
Yeah,
where I
it
thought
was
you were
actually
going. I thought,
published, and there was even a note from the editor saying, like, after thoroughly reviewing his research, like, yep, this is good.
this all checks out.
Yeah.
I like the one where someone decides that they're going to make something sound far more exciting than what there actually is, and they put Harry Potter and the at the front of their research paper title.
Look, I've read for my masters when I was doing my masters, I had to read research papers and so many of them are so dry.
Oh yeah.
They're not very exciting.
Well, let's not recommend research papers to read to our audience then.
Oh, if you
Otherwise,
find
unless
if
you
you
need them,
find them
if you need to go to
fascinating,
sleep.
yeah. Some of them are good and some like admittedly some of them are interesting. It just depends what field it is. So, I don't know. To each their own.
Mm.
All right. I'm assuming we don't have any listener emails this week to read out or anything like that.
Unfortunately, no. I would have mentioned it
Oh,
beforehand.
where are you, listeners? Email us. Don't send us
We
send us
know
a
you're
little
out
letter.
there.
I can hear you breathing.
All right. Well, why don't we get on to tonight's main topic then? We
Yep.
have admittedly had a couple of rather heavy episodes the last few
Mm.
episodes. So today we decided we would do something a little bit lighter to lighten the mood, especially
And
gestures vaguely around at everything.
it's definitely not
So,
us just being lazy.
no. Anyway,
I,
it is
yep.
what? Yes.
I was going to say I have an appetite whetter for this topic.
Oh,
Oh
yes,
yes,
you
you
do.
need your
I
point two
do.
three anecdote.
They're not
Mm,
going to
Or what was
understand
it?
that reference.
Not anecdote.
125 analogy.
Analogy. Yes, we did some negotiation
125 of them.
beforehand. I said Julian could use 3 analogies. We negotiated it down to 0.23 analogies he's allowed. So
I'm just going to say however many I want, and
Okay.
Brayton will cut out the rest.
yeah.
But in the spirit of being talking about writing and what have you, I thought I would like to share, and some of us would have already seen some of these, just some of the worst analogies people have ever written.
Hold on. Before
Oh.
we do this, should we actually talk about what we're going to talk about this week?
Yes.
Because we
Okay,
didn't
Maybe we
let's
should
actually
do that.
introduce the
introduce.
topic.
Let's
That's what I
introduce
was
the
going to
topic.
do. And
We
then,
just jumped straight into it. I love
all
the
right,
enthusiasm, though.
I'm not
it's back,
enthusiastic.
baby. We already did this once before, back by popular demand by us three, because we have the microphones. Brayton, do you want to lead us
Yes,
in?
this week we are reviewing some of the 2024 grand prize winners of the Bulwer-Lytton Writing Contest, which, if you remember, Bulwer-Lytton is famous for writing the phrase, "It was a dark and stormy night," generally regarded
Hey.
as one of the worst openings to a novel ever. So the competition is to purposefully write a horrible opening to a story. But I was just on the website and I do have some sad news to announce. The
Oh no.
contest will be concluding this year
Oh,
What? Why are we in
because
the worst timeline?
no, I can't fault the person for doing this. This person has been running this competition since 1983.
Okay,
oh wow.
that's admittedly a long time.
Yes. And his name, E.J. Rice, has been running this since 1983. And he even says, just for some context, he is a year and a half older than Joe Biden currently.
Wow. Okay.
So
That's
it
old.
is time for
Sorry,
him.
EJ. It's time
So
for him
he
to
has been
retire
running
now.
this thing for 42 years.
My goodness.
So you can go on the website. It's bulwer-lytton.com. I'll put it in the show notes. But he is hanging up his, I don't know, judge's hat, whatever. I don't know if he wears a judge's hat.
Proverbial cap.
Yep, that's it. There will be a list of competition winners for 2025 published later this year because they obviously have already gotten a heap of entrants. But unless someone picks up the website, then that will be it.
Yeah, well, listeners, if you've got some spare time and you feel like you could run the competition yourself, call in
He
to
is.
to them, not to us. We don't have anything to do with it.
You could call into us. We just can't help you.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll
He
we'll tell you go to that website.
There is a place to make donations to keep the website up and running, so people can come back and read through all the wonderful entrants. But yeah, a bit of sad news when I logged on tonight to get this ready.
Oh,
But anyway,
that's an interesting thought. What exactly happens to websites when the people who own them stop paying for that domain? Especially
They
if
get
they're really
archived.
huge.
yeah.
Ah, okay. I know that there is some internet archive thing. Apparently, that's where all of the information from the CDC has gone.
All
Ah,
right,
so great.
let's
Great,
keep
great
politics
times.
out of this episode.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. Let's funny sentences. Julian, over to you. Bad
Yes.
Right.
analogies.
Bad analogies. Well, as an English teacher, we teach writing and we teach metaphor and simile. And for those of you who don't know, metaphor and simile are actually two different things. Often people will say something is a metaphor when it is, in fact, a simile. And for those of you that don't know, short English lesson, a simile is when you compare something to something else. This is like that. That is a simile, whereas a metaphor is describing something as something else. So if I was to say this person was a goddess or a god, that is a metaphor. But if I was to say their hair was like winter fire, that is a simile.
What if I said they are like a god?
Simile.
Excellent.
With a touch of snobby aristocratic bullshit. And as a teacher, I see my fair share of really poorly written similes and metaphors, but this one has been circulating the net for a while, and I thought I'd read a few of my favorite ones. So this one, I love this one. He was as tall as a 6'3" tree.
What?
Really makes you think.
Really makes you think. Her face was a perfect oval, like a circle that has had its two sides gently compressed by a thigh master.
Oh man, the imagery there.
She had a deep, throaty, genuine laugh, like that sound a dog makes just before it throws up. He was as lame as a duck, not the metaphorical lame duck, but a real duck that was actually lame. Maybe from stepping on a landmine or something.
And not lame as in just terrible, bad?
No, physically lame.
Physically lame, okay.
This one I feel has a bit of a double meaning for you, Brayden. I know it's your favorite Family Guy, Stephen King reference. But anyway, the lamp just sat there like an inanimate object. Not a Stephen King lamp. That's for
because
sure.
It was haunted. Ah.
And her eyes were like two brown circles with big black dots in the center.
I think I've heard that one before. I love it.
Those just a few.
I'm gonna write them all down and use them in my novel.
There, but of course, there is a difference between writing badly and purposefully writing badly, which I understand is the point of these awards. So
yes, and I still believe purposely writing badly is much harder than just writing badly.
It doesn't take any skill to write badly, not on purpose.
Because it's a very fine line where it just becomes funny in itself for how bad it is.
All right, should we read out a few?
Please do.
I will start with the 2024 grand prize winner. Did you just scratch your back with a spatula?
Just wait a second.
I did.
That pause there was because we noticed Julian just scratched his back with a spatula.
I needed to take a moment to just process that.
My back gets itchy. We had a spare spatula. I don't use it to flip my burgers or anything with. It's an old one that is now, was put to the side, and it's the perfect reach. It gets right there, and it's got that nice kind of edge to it that just gets the right spot.
Side tangent, I really love the fact that we've all decided that that's a spatula because apparently it's not. It's a slotted egg turner. And I have this whole thing about
Who says it's a slotted egg turner?
Literally, when you go to the shop and you look at the label of the thing on the shelf, and it will say a slotted egg turner. Like I did this whole thing where I actually went to research it because of something else in another podcast that happened, and it made me insane because I'm like, well, what is a spatula then? Nothing's a spatula apparently.
I
I've
just
always
Thank
just
you.
called it an egg lifter.
I just Googled it and I don't like this at all.
No.
Oh no. My entire perception of reality is changing.
I know we're in the worst timeline. Anyway, we won't go on with this argument because I'll just get really
All right.
angry.
Okay.
Let's hear that winner.
All right. 2024 grand prize winner. She had a body that reached out and slapped my face like a 5-pound ham hock tossed from a speeding truck.
Oh my,
I really should call her.
what?
Mm.
There's so many questions. Why would a ham hock be tossed from a truck? Why is the truck
Ham
speeding?
hocks cost a lot of money. No one's tossing
Like,
those away.
no. Why is it not like strapped down inside the truck? Like,
That's what
is
she
there a
said.
tussle? Is
Would
there a
you
tussle
strap
going
would
on
you strap
inside?
down a singular ham hock?
Only if
You'd
it
have to
knows
strap
what's
down
good for it.
multiple ham. You'd have to strap down multiple ham hocks.
But it
In
says the ham hock was tossed, implying someone threw this at them.
Maybe they
oh,
unstrapped it and then threw it.
maybe it's like a James Bond type thing where there's two men fighting on top of a truck, and one of them has a ham hock wielded as a
Maybe
weapon.
it was a butcher's truck and
And
a meat
yeah,
delivery truck, and they were having an argument, and he reached, and the first thing he could find was a ham hock, thus throwing it at the other person.
maybe it's like the newspaper boy where it's the ham hocks being delivered to your house and they're just throwing them
I,
out of the basket.
hmm.
Ham hock delivery!
Although I think
Ham hock delivery!
you're both
It's
missing the
ham hock
point.
day.
Oh, it's
But
my favorite day of the year.
I think you're both missing the point of this sentence because it's not a ham hock was not literally tossed out. She had a body like a ham
Oh,
hock
right,
that
of
was tossed
course.
out.
I see. Now, is this
Body
a
that reached
simile
out
or
and
a...
slapped my face like a 5-pound ham hock tossed from
Okay,
a speeding
Eloise,
truck.
is that an insult or is that a compliment to a woman's body? I don't know. I feel like that one could be either.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I guess it depends if you're into that sort of thing. Like, if you're into a thick woman, then it could
Who
be a
isn't into being
compliment.
slapped by a ham hock?
Like, if you're into like a really like big muscular take control woman, then
Go on.
yeah, that
Go
that
on.
could be a compliment, I suppose. But if you mean it as an insult, because it's a misogynistic point of view of that, women need to be thin and svelte and feminine, then yeah, I can see how that would be an insult. What? Okay, stop picturing things now, guys.
You had me at thick, muscular women.
I can hear the cogs in your brains rotating right now.
Now I'm thinking of a thick, muscular woman bringing me a ham hock. What a day.
It's my favorite day of the year.
That's a Christmas present right there.
Okay.
All right, shall we
Excellent
move on to
winner.
the next one?
We
Yes.
shall move on.
Yes, we are not going to just caveat. We are not going to read every single entry on this list because there are a lot. So please go and look them up yourselves because you can easily waste hours reading through all the year's winners.
Well, I
think we
have
did
my
the last
workday
time we
planned
read them
tomorrow.
out.
There you go. I think you should show some of these to your students, Julian. They'd probably
I
it'd
don't
probably
teach
be
senior English
ah
anymore.
damn.
Mm.
Oh.
Anyway, this is the
Burst into
grand.
someone else's room and
should.
just shove it in their
And just
faces.
shout them out.
Yeah.
No
Yes.
context.
No. And then run away afterwards.
You should put one up as an example of good writing and see how long it takes any of your students to question it.
Far too long.
Or they'll just be really confused and not think that they're brave enough to actually debate against it and just go, oh, okay, I guess Mr. Fanning said it was all right, I'll do it that way then. My impression of a teenager.
That's not far off.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This is the Grand Panjerdrums Panda Drums, I don't know, special award.
Mhm.
Mrs. Higginson's body was found in the pantry, bludgeoned with a potato ricer and laying atop a 50-pound sack of Yukon Golds, her favourite for making gnocchi, though some people consider them too moist for this purpose.
Okay, again, a lot. It's very
I just,
potato based.
I don't understand why they call it a ricer when it very clearly mashes.
I didn't even know what that was.
It's a potato masher. They call it a potato
Ah,
ricer.
who calls it a potato rice? I swear to God, if this is another spatula thing again,
It's
oh
an
my God,
American thing, I think. But
am I
yes,
going to go to the
potato
shops
rice. They call it
and look
potato
for a
ricing.
masher and it'll have ricer on the label? Oh my God, I can't
Okay,
deal with
Maybe.
this
it's called
anymore.
a potato ricer because the resulting product has the texture of rice grains.
Only if you make really shit mashed potatoes. It should not in
Yeah.
any way resemble rice.
No. Who's making mashed potatoes into making it seem like rice? You haven't cooked the potato if that's the case. You're doing it wrong.
Or mashed it.
All that. Because
Yukon Gold's a
that's
nice potato, though.
Mm.
Okay. So
I will
yes,
say that.
yes, I think because of the sheer confusion as to how much is going on in that sentence, well done. Well
Okay,
done.
yeah, I
Good.
think,
I
Yeah.
approve of the use of potatoes.
yeah,
Yes. Oh, go for some potatoes right now.
not
Any
right
kind
now.
of potato, really. Why not?
Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
I prefer
I
fried
wasn't
and
I
crispy.
wasn't gonna go there, but you did it, so
Yeah, we were all thinking
it's
it.
too
All right,
late.
Yet Brayton doesn't like mashed potato.
I do not,
That's weird.
cannot
I
stand
get
it.
it. It's a text. It's a
It's a,
textural
What
it's a
thing.
about
texture thing.
yogurt?
Yogurt I'm fine with.
Interesting.
Hmm.
Just mashed potato.
Just mashed potato. Any kind of mashed vegetable or mashed
Yeah,
potato
generally
specifically?
any kind of mashed vegetable. Vegetable. Mashed potato is just the most common one that I've encountered.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Like mushy peas, I can't do those
No.
either.
Well, I just hate peas.
They're I'll eat I will eat peas like, mixed into a pasta or something, but just like a pile of peas on a plate doesn't really appeal to me.
If someone puts peas in front of me, I will eat them, but I will not go out of my way to make peas.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I concur with that. All right. It is
okay.
now, as we did last year, your guys' turn to pick a genre.
Ooh, yay, genre.
I will now read the genres that are available to you. We have adventure,
Mm-hmm.
crime and detective,
Mm-hmm.
dark and stormy,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
fantasy and horror,
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
historical fiction,
I don't like it.
okay, odious outliers, purple prose, romance, science fiction, vile puns, or western.
Do you say
Ooh. Science
purple
fiction.
prose?
Purple
What's purple?
prose, yes.
We went through this last time and I've
We
forgotten
did,
what
yeah.
it means again.
Is it like blue balls?
No. And
No?
I'm pretty sure you made that joke last time too.
Hey, the classics never die.
Oh, okay.
How come
Purple.
horror always gets lumped in with something else, like fantasy or
Mm.
sci-fi or something?
It's like how the
It's its
Oscars
own
are like
genre,
best
people.
comedy or
It
musical.
is. Yes, I know. It's so weird.
Well,
Don't even
didn't
get
they
me
have to put
started
Get
on.
Out into its own, like the movie Get Out? They had to go best comedy or horror or whatever it was to get it nominated for this specific award.
Can't it just
Otherwise,
be
it wouldn't have been
nominated just for
recognized.
best picture? Like hypothetically, I don't think
I
it was, but
It wasn't one of those sorts
It
of award
could, but
ceremonies. It was
yeah.
best genre film award
okay.
ceremony. It wasn't one of the
Like
big ones.
the Emmys or the Golden Globes have that kind of stuff, don't they? Where they break it down a little bit more
Yeah.
compared to the Oscars, which are a bit more
It's like just give horror its own genre.
standard.
Honestly,
Yeah,
it's earned it.
Hmm.
it does.
Yes.
It needs its own genre. I think the idea was like, oh, well, not many horror films get made. I'm like, oh no, plenty of horror films get made. So you
Some of
just
them are
don't.
startlingly good.
Hmm.
I've heard only good things about what's it called? It's what made the TV glow? I don't think that's the
Oh,
I've
exact
been
yes.
hearing
same.
about that.
I've
Yeah.
seen that. I saw the TV Glow.
I saw the TV glow. That's
Yeah,
it.
I watched it the other week.
It's
Is it good?
it's a trans allegory, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah. Well, it's written
Did you
by.
tell me when you were watching it?
I did. It was good. I
And I've
think
heard
it's.
You did. I recall,
It is
yes.
one of these movies. I think upon reflection, I need to watch it again because
Yes, probably
I
because
think my
you get to the end and
expectations
then
of
you
what it was.
realize and you have to
Yeah,
start
no,
again.
I think my expectations of what it was going to be mismatched with what it actually was. So I just think I need to go back and rewatch it. Like it was good, but I think to fully appreciate, because there was a lot going on there. I think to fully appreciate it, I think I need to give it another watch at some point.
A lot of people from the trans community are like really angry at how much Emilia Perez has been getting like all of this notice and nominations and praise when you've got I saw the TV Glow and it's basically being ignored and they're like this is the film that that we need,
It's
not Amelia
because
Perez.
it's because I saw the TV Glow um, does its trans allegory much more like it's there, but it's much more subtle and than Amelia Perez.
And it's actually produced by a trans person, isn't
Yeah,
it? Like someone that wrote or
the writer and
directed?
director are
Yeah.
trans.
Whereas Amelia Perez is written and directed by a cis white guy from France. So,
Is that a horror film?
no, it's
Maybe.
a
Well, there you go.
musical, actually. Oh,
See,
hang
I
on.
saw the
I saw
TV
the
Glow
TV
as
Glow
horror,
is a horror
Yeah,
film.
yeah.
so
Amelia Perez
therefore
is not.
it cannot be worthwhile because it's
No.
horror.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
dumb. But yes.
Anyway, I just looked up
Sorry, let's
purple.
see it. Mm.
Yeah, purple prose, just in case anyone's wondering, is a writing style that is overly flowery and ornate.
Right.
Yeah.
All right,
Mm.
so,
Pride and Prejudice.
oh, controversial opinion.
Ooh.
It's a shit book. It's really not that. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that
We're
today.
gonna have all the Jane Austen fans writing in now.
Come at me, bro.
All right, ladies first. Eloise, would you like to choose a genre if you can remember any of them?
Fantasy.
Fantasy and
Fantasy.
horror. Here we go.
Fantasy and horror.
Bleh.
Here's
They're not the same thing.
here is the
Well,
win.
pick a couple. Maybe one will be fantasy and one will be horror.
Well, we got the winner, and we always have the dishonorable mentions
Mm.
Okay.
at the bottom. So
Lay it
we'll
on
read the
us.
winner and then one or two dishonorable mentions. Because oftentimes the dishonorable mentions are, in my opinion, funnier than the actual winner. Here we go. Winner of fantasy and horror. Sir Arthur Pendragon, High King of the Britons, son of King Uther Pendragon, nephew of King Aurelius Ambrosius, who was in turn the son of a long list of people who weren't kings and thus don't matter, only slept with his sister once, but boy did it come back to bite him in the arse.
I feel like that one was the previous year's winner.
No,
I'm
I
sure
read a
we've
couple
heard
of
that
these to
before.
you off air last time.
Oh, okay. My brain doesn't work anymore. That explains
No,
it.
but that was
To
that.
be fair, he's not wrong.
He's not right.
It really did come back to bite him on the ass.
It did.
Yeah.
In the worst
Yeah.
way possible.
Oh, yes. This is a dishonorable mention that I did read to you guys last time, but it is still very funny. Harry Potter was a happy 11-year-old wizard who lived with two kind and supportive parents in Godric's Hollow because his parents hadn't been wimps and they had used the killing curse on Voldemort as soon as he stuck his big noseless face in their house.
Yes, as any sane people would have done.
It
And
really
had they
does
failed
just all.
just that whole opening, Harry's a baby.
It really does just all fall apart when you suddenly realize why didn't you just defend yourself with the thing you know that works?
And then, of course,
Oh,
if
because
that
we're
didn't,
good people.
and if
Oh.
that killed them, if he got there first and killed them, Harry's a baby. He's a fucking baby. Drop him out the window. You snap his little baby neck. It's over in seconds. It's done.
All
Julian's
right.
really
How do
annoyed
you
with
not
the plot
take
holes
down
in
a
Harry
high
Potter?
You're the greatest wizard, the most powerful wizard in the world, and you can't kill a 17-year-old who's really not
It's
that good?
called a gun.
The
All
Americans
They're
would
not
have
hard
had
to-
this sorted in 5 minutes.
They really would have.
Ah,
Oh my
All right,
God.
here is a horror-themed one.
excellent.
Cthulhu awoke from loathsome dreams of gangrenous decay and the foul stench of congealing viscera. lifting his pulpy, misshapen head to find what foolish supplicant had roused him to yet another age of fear and creeping dread, but found his bloodthirst unslaked, having been brought to consciousness not by horror-filled screams of human sacrifice, but by his little sister's overly dramatic wail of "Cthulhu's touching me!" from her side of the family station wagon's back seat.
Oh my God. That was a long walk.
That was a sentence from hell.
That really,
Yeah, that's one
from
sentence.
horrors unimaginable.
Yep. All right.
Speaking of
Well
which,
done.
Brayton,
Yep.
that movie I was telling you about yesterday, turns out it was
Yeah.
supposed to be Lovecraftian inspired, but I
Ah,
guess they didn't pull it off very well.
you didn't finish the movie, did you?
No,
Yeah, so
What
they
film
tried.
was
I
obviously didn't
tried
this?
pull it
so
off.
hard. Anyhow,
Anyway, Julian,
next one.
would you like
Oh,
to pick a genre?
crime.
Crime. Here we go. Winner. She was poured into the red latex dress like jello poured into a balloon, almost bursting at the seams, and her Zaftig shape was awesome to behold, but I knew from the look on her face and the 45 she held pointing at me that this was no standard client of my detective agency, but a new collection agency tactic to get me to pay my long overdue phone bill.
Oh God, that really was bad.
Isn't
Had
that the
me,
point?
and then it lost me, and then it had me again, but then it lost me. So
Then I lost.
yeah,
I yeah, it was what was it poured into a water balloon? Gelatin or something?
Yeah, jello. Well,
Custard?
jelly for us.
Jello. See,
Yeah.
like I get the feeling that you can't put jelly into a balloon because like you're just trying to shove it in, but it just sort of like keeps coming out because the opening's only really
that's
like
what she said.
small. So I keep walking into those.
Yeah. You can put a surprising amount of things into a water balloon if you're intrepid enough.
You're
Mm.
dedicated enough.
Yeah. But it still seems like a waste of jelly. I do like jelly.
Hmm.
Oh, I have not had jelly in so long. I'm going to have to
You know,
make
you're an
some
adult
jelly.
and you
Because you're
can
not
just
a
go to the
child.
Woolies. But what? No, that means he can have it whenever he wants now.
Yeah,
He can
nothing wrong
literally
with
That's
just go to the
true.
jelly.
Woolies and buy some jelly.
Hmm.
I might
All
tomorrow.
right.
All right.
You can do
Would we
whatever
like
you
to hear a
want.
dishonorable mention for the crime and detective genre?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Staring unblinkingly into the pleading, tear-filled eyes of yet another dame looking at me to solve all her problems, I sighed, stretched, scratched my whiskers, stuck my hind leg in the air and bent my spine at a 45-degree angle to reach down and lick my butt clean, then donned my fedora. Taco Cat Detective was officially on the case.
I was thinking to myself, hang on, is the detective a dog or a cat?
It's Taco Cat Detective.
I want to
Ah,
know more about this cat. I
yes.
would read this story.
Yes.
How
Sounds like
how
my
did a
the cat
cat
that
ride to
saves
the rank of
books.
detective?
Oh, how did he get there? We'll never know.
Well, he
Hmm.
got into the police academy, and from there he passed all his exams, became a beat cat,
You know what
and
he
rose
did?
through the ranks.
He knocked off all of the other students' exams from the table so that the lecturer couldn't mark them, and
He
therefore
named
he was the only one left
he named
to
names.
he named the cats are snitches. Yeah.
All right, Eloise, your turn again.
Ooh, how about romance?
Romance. Okay, winner of the romance genre. If broken hearts were made of simple syrup and shattered dreams were made from white rum, and agony and despair came from 3/4 ounce of lime juice, freshly squeezed, and 3 mint leaves respectively, then Mary Lou just served up a mojito cocktail straight from the ninth circle of hell when she told Ricky the baby wasn't his.
Oh,
That
that
one
one's
lost me.
It
that
lost you?
yeah.
That
No,
lost me.
no good.
I couldn't keep
Well,
up
that's
with
what
the
won.
different spirits and things. It
It was a
lost me.
mojito. Baby wasn't some guys.
Something
It was a
about
ninth
mint.
circle of hell. Why was it a bad cocktail? It sounded like that's how you make a mojito.
Yeah, but if broken hearts were made of that stuff, then it's a bad mojito because it's a metaphor.
Is it?
Is it, Julian? Was it
Broken
a
broken hearts are made of bad mojitos?
if broken hearts were made of simple syrup, shattered dreams were made from white rum, and agony and despair came from 3/4 ounce of lime juice freshly squeezed and 3 mint leaves respectively, then Mary Lou just served up a mojito cocktail straight from the ninth circle of hell when she told Ricky the baby wasn't his.
Yeah, that's a metaphor.
So the mojito is all her pain and despair at telling Ricky the baby isn't his.
I feel like Ricky's going to be more pained and despaired. Unless he didn't want the baby.
Well,
In which
we
case, he's
we
probably happy.
we don't know.
Next.
Yes.
I've never had
Um,
a mojito.
neither have
Have you
I.
not? Oh, they're fun.
All right. Oh, there's a lot of dishonorable mentions in this category. We could probably read a couple. Here we go. This is still romance. Her raven hair, ruby lips, sensuous jaw, and luminous pearly teeth would all be perfectly preserved, Jacques desperately hoped, by an expertly honed blade and carefully positioned guillotine basket.
That's not romance.
What is a sensual jaw?
A
What makes a jaw?
sensuous jaw.
What makes a jaw sensuous?
Is it
I don't know.
because it's
Mouth I can understand,
hmm.
but a jaw.
Maybe because it's like really defined and like I don't know. Do you want to like kiss along it or something? I don't know.
Maybe. Is it beckoning you with its wiles?
Is it
Can a jaw
is it
beckon?
rounded? Because I can't like if someone had a really pointy chin, I can't imagine that being sensuous.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like slightly pudgy. That's a terrible descriptive word for it.
I feel like
Full.
pudgy and sensuous
Mm,
don't work together in the same sentence as a
No,
description.
probably not.
Hmm.
No.
Is the fact that we have to deconstruct this one sentence so much mean that this author has achieved the goal?
I think
Potentially,
so.
yes.
I think so. Yes. Well done.
Yep. All right. Here's another romance one.
One more. Okay.
After initially being cold and hard towards Jeremy, Sylvia finally began to thaw and then slowly started to warm up to him. Just a bit at first, but more and more the longer she basked in the heat of his yearning eyes. Then, suddenly magically transformed, she became steaming hot for him, melting at his touch, yielding her softness to his hungry hands, and so he devoured her, savouring her oozy delights and consuming every morsel of her lusciousness. After which Jeremy leaned back, totally satiated, and began to consider what he should name his next batch of frozen cookie dough.
I was thinking she's not going to be a real woman. It's going to be like something edible.
Well,
Go on.
everyone's edible if you try hard enough.
Everything is eatable. But that would be called cannibalism.
You can eat anything once.
Mm.
That's true. Only once in some instances.
Julian, would you like to pick another category?
Purple prose.
Purple prose. Let's see. Here is purple prose. Hungover, Bethany walked out onto the deck of her Malibu beach house, her pimento-less olive green eyes scouring the sand below like two Brillo pads, while a thundering blitzkrieg continued hammering within her head like a demolition wrecking balls repeatedly smashing against concrete walls, while accompanied by the deafening salvos of the cannons from the 1812 overture.
I'm still on Blitzkrieg.
I mean, if purple prose means overly flourishy language, then that definitely nailed it.
Yes.
I I I understand this hangover. I know what that's like. Hmm.
You
So, yes, just a cacophony of all of the
you
things.
just need the Malibu beach house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well done. That was long, but
That was a good.
well
I
deserved
actually
of
like
that
in terms of
award.
like writing. I think that's a really good one, actually. Like a bad writing, but I mean, it nailed the goal.
Nailed the
Also,
brief.
Hmm.
did she refer to her eyes as Brillo pads?
Uh her
No,
pimento
she referred
pimento
a
less olive
pimento
green eyes
list.
scouring the sand below like two Brillo pads. So I guess
There's a
yes,
lot
because
going
they
on.
she's scouring the sand.
Ah, right. Mixed
God, that's
metaphor there.
that's such bad
Lot
writing.
lot of metaphor all in the one
Should not mix your
sentence.
metaphors.
No.
No. Oh, here's one from Australia. His burnt flesh sizzling like a burger on the grill, blood pouring from his wounds like an overshaken cola, and sweat as salty as French fries pouring down his face. John knew that after this mission was over, he was getting McDonald's for dinner.
Yeah, I was thinking McDonald's actually until you got to that part. So well done.
Mm, I do like salty French fries.
Oh, they're the best part of McDonald's, I reckon, they're French fries. Even
Mm,
though it's just pure oil and nothing else.
Mm,
Oil and salt. So bad for you. But man, I think it's been more than 20 years since I last had McDonald's, and goddamn, I could still go for those fries.
really,
Someone
I
just
had it
20
like
presented them to me.
years.
Yeah,
I had it last week.
I just don't eat McDonald's. Like, yeah, I think in the last 20 years, I might have had it maybe once.
I had it before we went to see last podcast,
Oh, yeah.
and I think the last time before that would have been at least 6 or 7 years ago.
Oh,
Wow.
Mm.
how was it?
It has not changed.
No, it's like
A double
you
quarter pounder tastes exactly the same.
Mm,
that's the thing. Like you can still like know exactly what it tastes like, and there is no disappointment because it's exactly the same, regardless of how many decades have passed between servings.
I was actually watching a thing on YouTube a few weeks ago where I think it was an athlete bodybuilder. Yeah, bodybuilders have to like pack on the protein and stuff before competitions, don't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. This was a guy that traveled internationally to do all this stuff, and he said when he has to pack it on, the thing he gets is McDonald's chicken nuggets because they are literally, you go worldwide, they are literally the same everywhere. So he knows
Mm.
exactly what he needs.
Mm.
And now I want McDonald's.
You can do whatever you want. Remember,
They're
go and
they're
get
open
McDonald's
20. If I
and
left
then
this
Jello.
and went to my wife and said, "Hey, I'm just popping out to get some chicken nuggets," she'd be like, "What the fuck? No, you're not."
Or would she say, "Okay, go get me some"?
No, she would not.
Yeah. Well, that's not very fun.
I know. Anyway, Eloise, you got a few more options to pick from. I don't think we've
Ooh,
done
okay.
adventure, dark and stormy, historical fiction, odious outliers, science
Let's go
fiction, odious
odious
outliers.
outliers.
Not sure what this genre actually is, but let's find out. Odious outliers, the winner. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, and it was precisely this questionable choice of paving material, combined with the ongoing flight of middle-class demons from the urban centre of pandemonium, proper to more spacious brimstone lakefront homes in the suburbs that had produced the mess of closures, detours, and gridlock that were making Azazel's commute this morning a living, well, you know.
All right, that was like really boring up till that last bit. That really got me. That's actually really clever.
That one got you.
I like that. that was very good.
If a demon gets stuck in traffic, is it a good time for them?
No, because that's exactly what happens to Crowley in Good Omens, and it's his fault that there's
But like,
traffic.
if their idea of a good time is hell and a traffic jam is hell,
Hmm.
hmm,
We're going to ponder on that for a while,
Hmm.
aren't we?
Depends. Do demons aren't demon if we're going theologically, aren't demons themselves being punished?
Well, yes,
no.
if you want.
No?
No?
No, demons were created by Satan to do his bidding.
I thought they were his the ones that joined him in the rebellion.
Yeah, aren't the fallen angels the ones that became demons, or are they
Hmm.
something different?
Some, yeah, some, and demons are also made as
Ah.
well. They're not all fallen angels. They're not humans, though. Some people mistake them for being once human.
Mm.
Wasn't that a plot line in Supernatural? Couldn't humans become demons?
No, they couldn't. That was the thing, but some did somehow.
So they
Speaking of
couldn't
supernatural,
so
they couldn't, but
they
of course
Somehow.
couldn't
some did.
become demons, but some did.
Some did. Even Dean becomes a demon. And actually, Crowley in Supernatural gets really annoyed by people who hold him up. So maybe it isn't fun for them. But then I feel like that's just Mark Sheppard.
He seems like he'd be just annoyed all the time anyway.
He is such a good speaker, though. We saw him at a Comic-Con. He was amazing. Very entertaining.
I hope he's recovering well after his horrific heart attack last year.
I think 11 heart attacks in one go.
Oh my
That's,
god.
Yeah.
yeah, like
He
astounding.
doesn't
He
know how he's
died multiple
alive.
times
Hmm.
on, like, they brought him back multiple times when they were working on him in the hospital.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yep.
All
But
right,
hopefully
cool.
he's doing okay now.
He
Yeah,
seems to be.
right in, Mark. We'd love to hear from you.
Ah!
Oh, God, there was a cat. Julian,
I
you're
hate
up.
him so much.
Oh, the poor cat.
Anyway, um,
You're up, Julian.
what was the what's left? We
Okay,
got his dark.
we haven't done
Okay.
adventure,
hmm
dark and stormy, historical fiction, science fiction, vile puns. Oh, did we do science fiction?
No, not yet. We did
No,
fantasy
science
horror.
fiction, vile puns, or western.
Ooh, let's go vile puns.
Vile puns. I love a good pun.
Oh no.
Oh God, and this one's a good one. Or a bad one. I'm not sure.
It's so good, it's bad.
I do enjoy turning a profit, said Torquemada as he roasted the heretic seer on a spit.
Yep, that's a pun. It's definitely a pun.
Eloise doesn't get it.
I don't get
He likes
it.
turning a profit because he's roasting a seer on a spit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, turning a
Boo.
profit. So a profit in a business sense is when a business makes more money than they put in.
Yeah, I get
Yes,
it.
that's
Yep.
basic economics.
Yep. And a profit
No, I know, I
is
understand.
someone. Okay, we got it.
Yeah, no, I said I got it. That's
Just
why I
need
went
just needed
boo.
just needed to mansplain it to you.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
And it's
Um.
funny because it's a double entendre,
mm,
Ah,
thus a pun. Mm,
thank you for your imparting your words of wisdom. I never would have understood.
mm.
oh God. Sorry, I just read one of the dishonorable mentions.
All
Give
right.
it to us, lay it on us.
My laddies may not be the fastest sugarcane harvesters, Fergus confessed, but they're not as slow as my lasses.
Ah, boo.
Oh my god. Oh. After thousands of years ruling the netherworld, the devil was starting to show his age. And though it honestly didn't bother him that his horns were a bit less pointy, his wings a little bit more droopy, and his fangs a bit less sharp, if anyone mentioned he was losing his hair, there would be hell to pay.
Oh my God. Okay, can we move out of this subject
Nope, we're
now?
staying here.
No.
I love a good pun. Like, I love a good dad joke. My favorite joke, I'm sure I've told you guys my favorite joke of all time.
Prob-
It was, it.
Tell,
I'm about to tell
go
you.
on. Okay.
Three guys walk into a bar. You'd think one of them would have seen it.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, Eloise, science fiction, historical fiction, Western or adventure?
Let's go science fiction.
Science fiction.
Bold choice.
Hmm.
With the long awaited legalization of human cloning and the availability of goodly amounts of the DNA of its founding fathers, America in 2035 found itself entering a new golden age, one in which Nathan Hale at last had more than one life to give for his country. Benjamin Franklin on Benjamin Franklin was on hand to get the frickin' post office back on the rails, and Alexander Hamilton could finally play himself on Broadway 8 shows a week.
Oh, I appreciated the Alexander Hamilton bit.
Oh, of course.
Yes, well, we're all going to be wiped out in 2032 anyway.
Oh,
Ah, yes.
finally.
Only
Oh,
7 years to go.
waiting for that asteroid. Yeah. Oh, we're all so sad.
There's another one here that's just dishonorable mention, but it's also a great pun. I don't know if it's a
Okay.
pun, but yeah. To help maintain the spirit of the entire Apollo 15 crew during their lengthy and monotonous space journey, NASA scientists sent along fun snacks for everyone, including space food sticks for the lunar astronauts and space food milk bones for the lunar rover.
Oh, that could have gone in both categories.
Yes, I like that one.
That's clever.
All right, should we do one more?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
let's do
there are
one more.
still lots here that I have not read. Julian, you got historical fiction, adventure, or western?
Oof. Let's go with Western. Let's go a bit left
Western?
field.
Here is the winner of the western. Even a lone ranger has to adapt to changing times. So with unemployment running below 2%, when Tonto announced that he was finally quitting the pro bono law enforcement game to get his real estate license, the closest an aging John Reed had been able to come to replacing his trusty Indian companion was Ganesh Savapindi, a fair shot and a so-so horseman with the annoying habit of referring to his new boss as Kemo Sahib.
I feel like that one is lost a little bit.
Mm.
Like you need to understand what's going on with like the deities out of India.
I feel
And
like it was as if Stephanie Meyer tried to write a Western.
Thus achieving the goal of writing a really bad opening to a book.
That really
Ah,
wasn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
think you have
guess.
to understand the Lone Ranger there, which I
Yeah,
do not.
you have to know the line well because the line was always Kimasabi,
Yeah,
which I think was probably possibly racist anyway because it wasn't a real word, but just the assumption of what a Native American would say.
I thought Kimasabi was the Lone Ranger's name.
Was it?
And
Or was
Tonto
it?
was his sidekick.
Well, I know Tonto was his sidekick. Is Kimasabi his name? I thought it was
I
like
think
supposed to
so.
be Native American talk.
I have no idea.
No, okay.
Well,
I could
I'm
be
going to
completely
Google
wrong.
that.
I've never
Please
seen The
do.
Lone Ranger nor the movie.
I did see the movie. It was not great.
No.
Why did you?
Like,
Well, I mean, Johnny Depp shouldn't be anyway.
I think it was because it was because it was at a time when It's like, oh, it's Johnny Depp, hooray, Johnny Depp. And then you're watching it and they're going, wait a second, this isn't great.
He was really coming off like the Pirates of the Caribbean success when he made that movie.
Yeah, I think it was, oh, Pirates of the Caribbean's making everyone so much money. Let's get Johnny Depp in everything, and then forgot that, don't cast white people in Native American roles. Or any person of color roles. Don't cast a white person.
I liked Sweeney
Julian's
Todd.
still. Yeah, oh, Sweeney
It
Todd's
is a
right.
friendly term that Tonto, the Lone Ranger's Native American companion, uses to address the Lone Ranger.
There you go.
Okay. Is it a
But it's
real
not a
word?
it's I don't think it's a real dialect of any Native American, I'm assuming.
Derived from, I don't want to say it because I'm going to say all those names wrong. It may mean he or she looks out in secret. It
Okay.
has occasionally been translated as trusty scout or faithful friend.
So it's a
Maybe
real
it
word.
was. Okay.
I think
My
so.
mistake for assuming it was just the 1950s white American Hollywood producers being racist. But yes, all right. Maybe one more?
Sure. We haven't done historical fiction. Let me see that one.
Okay.
Or have we done historical fiction? No, we haven't. Okay, it's another pun one. I love it.
Stop reading ahead before you read.
I need to so I know what I'm about to say,
Okay.
and
I
it
never know what I'm about to
hasn't
say.
helped. On an otherwise fine spring morning, Helga Tottentense learnt in an exceptionally hard way that whenever they might have told you in hospitality school in Cologne, as a serving wench in Mainz's finest inn in 451 AD, you don't greet a battle-weary and obviously stressed general named Attila, fresh from crossing the Carpathians at the cost of 10,000 or so men, with an overly cheery, "Hi, hun."
Ah. Boo.
Eh,
Once again.
Great historical pun.
Mm,
All
there we
right,
go.
are we going to that's it then? No
Well,
more, we're done.
there's a lot more there, but I will leave that to our listeners to discover themselves.
All right. So, Brayton will pop the link to the website in the show notes if you would like to go and read for yourself. We highly recommend for a bit of a laugh.
Yep.
Um, that's basically it. So, if you would like to get in touch with us, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyone else?
Anyone else? Anyone got anything else to say?
It's
Nothing
been
of
one of
relevance.
it's been one of those weeks.
It really has been one of those weeks. We'll come back to you next time with a higher quality episode, I promise. And
Will
Brayden
we?
and I do still.
Will we?
Well, I don't know. I've promised it now. Then we'll have to actually make an effort. And I promise Brayden and I will come back and actually do that review of Doctor Who Joy to the World. We have not yet done that, so
Oh God,
do
Christmas
listen
feels
to
like
that.
so long ago now.
I am going to rewatch it before we record on
And yet
that
it was
one.
barely
So
a month ago.
and
Oh
yet.
crap. Yeah.
All of the Easter stuff is up in the shops already as well. My kids were like,
Hot
should we
cross
decorate
buns
the
were out
house
on
for Easter?
Boxing Day.
Well, they do that just to rile everyone up for the publicity so that they can get
Brayton,
sales.
we should do a Hell House series review.
Hmm. Those were surprising. Yeah, good movies. Well, okay. First, yeah, good. Okay. Then back to good.
I remember you mentioning the first one, and then I mentioned it to Richie, and he was apparently home with the flu and watched through all four of them.
Oh wow.
So I was getting real-time updates from him as well. I'm like, well, I have to watch them all now.
Well
Yeah.
done, Richie.
That fourth one, like,
All right.
yeah,
That was
really
good.
great. It was really good.
Yeah.
Eloise, you should watch more horror
Yeah.
movies.
I'm eh.
We're
I'm not
living
into
in one. She
horror
doesn't need
films.
to watch anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do I need that for entertainment when I can just look out the window? Anyway, I'm in a mood
If I
this
look
week,
out my window,
guys.
it's just a dark street. There's not really
That's
much going
true.
on
I
there.
have
Like
no
literally it
windows
is
in
just
this room.
my dark
I'm in a
backyard.
I'm in a
So
closet. One day
You
I will
should
come
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 out
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 of
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 the
the
that
closet,
closet
closet,
Brayton.
Brayden.
It's
You should
one
really
day.
come out of that
2025.
closet, Brayden.
Actually,
Yeah.
wait, no, it's 2025. You should probably stay in there for now.
Oh, yeah, actually.
Let's
Yeah.
give it another 6 months, see how things pan out.
That's right. The thing that I keep seeing on Tumblr at the moment is, do you know a trans person? No, you don't. That's great. Great times. Anyway, if you would like to get in contact with us, you can do so by emailing us at nothelpfulpod@gmail.com. You can message us on Facebook, on Instagram, follow us on Bluesky. That's pretty much it. Again,
Pay us to endorse your product.
Julian
Sure.
always
Anyone,
says with the seductive look in his eye
pay me,
every week.
and I'll do what you want.
Final thoughts?
Um,
No final
I
thoughts.
like apple pie more than I like pineapple pie.
I don't like apple in things.
Really?
Like I will happily eat an apple, but apple pie, it's because the apple
You
gets mushy. It's
strange
It's the
person.
mashed potato thing again.
Oh, it's back to the mushy thing.
Mm.
Yeah, I clearly.
All right.
I mean, there were signs I was neurodivergent, weren't there?
Gee, I wonder what
The
they
signs
were.
were there the whole time.
All right. We will see you next time, everyone. Bye bye.